It's been really exciting here at RoofSnap over the last month since we had our last live webinar.
Yeah.
We have been, fixing bugs here and there and creating a couple new feature type functionality things for iOS. But most of the work that we've been putting in is on the Android platform. So if you're excited about RoofSnap on Android, we have some very exciting things to show you there.
Let's
All right, so
get started.
we're going to jump right in and show you some of the new stuff that we've been working on for those who need a little extra training. I'm going to transition us over and have a look here at our YouTube channel. So hopefully most of you spend a little time going in and watching some of our videos that we record on YouTube. You'll notice here on our RoofSnap page, we have playlists. And underneath playlists, we have the new hands-on demonstration playlist. So for any of you who have been, wanting to see, I'm going to pause that, wanting to see a hands-on application, the fingers actually drawing the lines and so forth, you can have a look at some of these videos, and you'll actually see my hands and Katrina talking and guiding us through the videos of how to draw the lines, how to do it both on Android and iOS, sending the sketch report, and we're going to be making more and more of these hands-on videos, so please check these out.
Yeah, it's especially helpful, I think, when you're looking at complex architecture and need to kind of see, okay, how do you handle overhangs or dormers or some of the more complex things that you might run into. It's
Sure.
a little easier to learn how to do that when you can actually see the touch points and things like that. So
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that to you.
With the tap to start the line and then seeing us actually draw it out and then tapping to finish the line, it's always the 2 taps.
2 taps.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's hop over into the next topic. So we wanted to, just everybody who is currently a customer who's joining us today, you probably are already familiar with our pricing. But just for anybody who's new, we wanted to do a quick review over some of the savings that can be had. So if RoofSnap's proven to be a really good fit, and you've got more than one person who needs to, sketch roofs and estimate the cost of those roofs, we have 2 different types of subscriptions based on annual pricing. So sketch only for 2 users, you can see that it's half the cost per user when it's paid a year in advance, and it just gets cheaper the more users you add, cheaper per user, right? And those are paid 12 months at a time.
Absolutely.
So we have, some users who will use RoofSnap for 8 months out of the year because there's, snow on the ground for the rest of the season, or
Sure.
just slower industry in the winter months.
Sure.
If you do the math, if you're still currently paying $99 per month per user, depending on how many users you have, you'll see that it may actually be cheaper to switch over to an annual plan and just let it run all year round than only having a RoofSnap subscription for 8-9 months out of the year.
Sure.
So, pull out your calculator and just kind of see which of these plans might be the best fit for you. Additionally, we've talked about our Sketchos service in the past, and this is where we draw the roofs for you and then upload them into your account so that you can use those measurements to create your projects for estimating and getting signed contracts. Just want a quick review for our customers who are subscribers to the app. You can purchase half snaps, which are the roof over here on the left. So you've got the outline of the roof and you've got the predominant pitch, which will give you squares, and then the perimeter lengths. Or the full snap, this is the same house, but again, it's all of the individual slopes drawn with all of the edge types and all of the individual pitch values for each roof slope.
Gotcha.
And the pricing breaks down as you can see here. So if it's a half snap, it's $9. We don't care what size. Big, small, commercial, residential, any size roof, $9 with a paid subscription. And then the pricing breakdown for 20 squares, 20 to 30, 30 to 50, 50 to 80, and anything over 80, 915-1935 and call.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so one thing that's changed that we want to go over with you guys real quick that's different from the last time we looked at Sketchos. So we have the Sketchos ordering screen and the dashboard here. So for those of you who are ordering projects from us here directly off of our website, and you go and you click on the Request New Order tab, well, there is a sort of an issue where some addresses, as you search for them, won't include all of the address information that we typically expect. And that address information is all the stuff that's verified down here in step 3. So occasionally, and if you just type in Lucas, Ohio, because this is a way to show it. Okay, so Lucas, Ohio here, when I click on this suggested address, well, it only populates the city, the state, and the zip, and it didn't actually put in an address on the line. But now you can actually just type in any address, street number there. You can type in the physical address, or you can change, if it put the wrong city, you can change the name of the city, or if it didn't put in the correct postal code, you can change the postal code. Now, if you're going to be modifying the address information in step 3, the most important part is to zoom in on the map. I may have zoomed in just a bit too far there, Katrina. But zoom in on the map, because the most important thing to do here is physically move the pin. Click and drag it and place it right on the structure. Mm-hmm. We want the address to be accurate for your project.
Right.
But we need the pin to be placed right on the structure so that our sketch technicians know exactly which building you want us to draw.
Absolutely.
And don't forget down in step 4 to select the owner, verify your snap type, and any notes. So specifically if you want us to sketch a detached building, a shed, a small garage that's in the backyard or something or back away from the main building. So to include any notes there, definitely important. All right, so we are logged in to our RoofSnap demo account as well. And I'm not actually going to submit this order here. But I want to jump over to our My Account page. And I know we're hopping around a bit here, but these particular webinars we want to talk about, what's new.
Yeah, what's exciting.
What's exciting. Or what we think that users may not be aware of, features or functionalities that they may not be using to the fullness of the capability that might provide some real value for your customers and for your sales methodology.
RoofSnap is a robust app, and there are a lot of features that are at your disposal. And some of these are, I wouldn't say unintentionally hidden, but you may not know outright some of the functionality. So we kind of want to go over some of that here today.
Absolutely. So in the My Account main tab here across the top, we'll then navigate over to one of these sidebar tabs. We're going to go into Offices, and we're going to go into our RoofSnap demo office just to show you some of the customization that you can do within your contract that you may not be aware of. If you've been a customer for a few months and you've been using the base contract that was in there from when you first signed up, you may not have gone in and explored all of the different customization that you can do. So I'm going to click on Edit for that office, and I'm going to come down to Contract here in the left side menu bar. And I want to show you that, and actually Katrina knows this stuff inside and out way better than I do. So Katrina, why don't you, if you feel good about this, why don't you take the lead a little bit here on how users can modify their existing contract terms and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to take the reins here.
Sure.
So as you can see in this kind of sample box here, there are different things, and if you've been a customer for a while with us, there are a few new things that we can format in HTML that might be beneficial for you, such as text input fields and checkboxes. Those are things that we can place within the HTML, or you can place within the HTML if you're familiar with it, just by clicking inside this contract box and then click on this HTML editor. here you'll see kind of the format and the code for things like your text input box and your checkbox and things like that. So if you have contract language that requires those features, you can house it now in the contract section, and I think we'll show you that here in a moment, what that looks like on the actual contract. A lot of people don't tend to be extremely familiar with HTML, and that's okay. You don't have to be an expert. You can feel free to copy and paste that formatting and make sure that you test it if you do it yourself. Those tags are kind of in the editor for you, and you can input your terminology. More often than not, though, our customers tend to send their language to us, and if you send that to support@roofsnap.com, we're happy to format that for you and upload it into your account and just kind of let us know what you need.
Why don't we hop over to the iPad real quick and just kind of show them what the checkbox and the text input field looks like in the contract.
That's perfect.
All right, well here, let's transition on over. So this is the contract signature page of just, again, a very simple sample contract that we have in here. And you'll see here on the screen, just above and to the right of the sign here, we have a text input field where if you wanted to, I don't know, I guess have the customer initial next to a few line items of importance, then you could take initials in that text input field.
If there's a date that you need to specify in there, you can type in the date.
Absolutely. If there was a deposit given and you needed a field to specifically type in what the deposit was, you could use a text input field for that. If there were certain things that you needed to make sure the salesman was going over with the customer, that checkbox, which I just tapped there on the right, could be used to verify and check each one. So again, these two fields in particular can be utilized to capture custom bits of information and verification checkboxes within the body of your contract.
Absolutely.
Then, once it's signed, dun, 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 dun.
Generating.
Now remember, we are live streaming and sharing all of the data from all of these devices. So our internet gets just crushed when we're live streaming. So I apologize when there's a delay on the syncing. Well, that was fast. So see here under this text input field, we can see that my initials were taken, and the little checkbox has the check mark icon in it, just to the right of my initials.
Perfect.
So that's kind of how that works there. All right, well, I'm going to hop back out of this, and I think we're just going to stay in iOS for now.
Okay, sounds good.
One of the things that we have improved upon in iOS.
I'm so excited about this.
Finally, something we can get really jazzed about is syncing. So for those of you who have used RoofSnap for a while, or again, if you're just kind of checking us out, RoofSnap is a cloud-based software, and when you create new projects here, they need to sync up. And when your administrators create new material items for estimating, they need to sync down. And everything needs to sync and all be on the same page. And occasionally, when you make changes to the website or changes to the estimating, you'll have to come up here and tap on this little circular arrow. This is the quick sync. Well, one of the things that we wanted to point out, which not everybody may know exists or may use it, is the information menu that can be accessed by tapping on this little I circle button down here in the bottom left. And there's lots of cool things in here, and we are going to talk about the new, faster syncing. But in addition, we're gonna talk about some of the other settings in here. So presentation mode. If you turn on presentation mode, it's going to hide the prices in your projects, so that if you're at the dining room table of your customer in the home, and you don't want them to be seeing the individual line item prices of your estimate items right over your shoulder, you can turn on presentation mode and it's going to hide that information. So let's take a quick look. Jump in, go into this project. We don't have many estimate items in here yet, but you'll see over here on the right, we're not showing any prices.
Wonderful.
And if we jump back out and go to the I menu and turn in presentation mode back off and jump right back into the estimate items, you'll see now we have prices for each estimate item.
Great.
Now we're going to do a little back and forth here with the I menu. So, have you just signed up for RoofSnap and you've been, reading through all of those little tutorials, those little menus that pop up? Well, let's reset. Let's turn the tutorial slides back on, and let's go into estimate items. And there we get a slide. Well, at some point during your training, and after you've watched videos and you've talked to Katrina and you've talked to Abby and Jason and everybody here, and you know what's going on, or you figured it out on your own, because a lot of people do that too.
Sure.
And you're done closing the slides. You don't want to have to close the slides anymore. We'll just close that slide, come in here and tap on the little information button, and then just to the right of tutorial slides, tap on turn off. And now those slides will be gone and you won't have to close them ever again.
Awesome.
What else is in here, Katrina?
The show waste calculator.
Yeah, well, we have this great little waste calculator. Oh, that sun is killing me.
Right in your face. Here, I'll scoot over.
No, it's good. So, those of you who are familiar, so when you've gone in, and I'm going to have to draw something to change this roof a little bit. So there, we just draw a little square there, and click on done. The auto waste calculator is going to pop up, and it's going to say, based on the measurements of this roof, and assuming that you're installing architectural shingles, also assuming that you are installing single cut valleys, this is the waste that you're going to need for this application. And if this, we find this is very accurate, again, for residential steep slope architectural shingle applications.
Sure.
But if you're doing other kinds of roofing where this waste factor is not working for you, or if you just want to put in your own or leave it at the default 10%,
sure,
then you can come back out, go to the information button here, and you can turn off, sorry, I keep bumping the thing, turn off the waste calculator. And once it's off, it will no longer attempt to calculate your waste for you.
Gotcha.
Default starter on the eaves only. So we have a few customers who are only installing starter at the eaves.
Okay.
And if that's your company's installation methodology, then you'll want to turn that on there. And it won't calculate starter to go up the rakes. Well, let's switch that one back, and let's turn the waste calculator back on, because I like that a lot. So the last thing in here that we haven't talked about, besides signing out and things like that, and of course most of you never sign out because the app remembers your password, and every time you open it you're signed in. But if you ever do need to sign out and log in with, maybe you get a new account one day or something like that. Ultimately, what we're going for here though is to tell you about the resync all data. So I'm going to take a little risk here. I'm in our demo account, but this also has all of our Sketchos projects in it, our entire demonstration estimating platform.
Gotcha.
So we're talking, 8,000 projects.
Yeah.
At least, maybe more. We're talking a few hundred estimate items. I'm going to resync all data, and what this is going to do is this is going to dump all of the items and all of the projects and resync everything in fresh from the app, from the cloud,
Okay.
into the app.
Let's do it.
This used to take a bit too long, a bit longer than what we would do in a live demonstration. But I'm feeling confident.
I'm feeling lucky today.
Feeling confident. For a really large account, for this to take a couple minutes is normal. For a brand new account, for this to take 10-15 seconds is what we would expect. For an account like what we're in right now with so many projects, oh look, it's done.
Oh my gosh.
It was about 20 some seconds. I think I did it offline earlier, and it was about like 27 seconds.
Yeah.
To resync all data. Now, when you first log in, or if you make a bunch of changes and you do that sync, and you go into estimate items, and you actually go in and add some new material items, Sometimes all your images won't immediately be available because images for your estimate items, they are syncing in the background. They're not all syncing in right in the beginning.
Yeah.
So images will sometimes take just a little bit longer to trickle in. But you should notice a dramatic increase in syncing speed, both when you first sign in and when you resync all data.
Phenomenal.
Yep. Resyncing all data is important if you've had any errors. If you made a project yesterday and then you go in and you don't see that project, resyncing all data is how you're going to restore that project back into your account. If you're just having any little issues, resyncing all data is one of the first things you want to try in order to fix that problem. Of course, the other fix is, don't forget to ask yourself, how long has it been since I've powered down my tablet? Has my tablet literally been running for the last 4 months? Have I never shut it off and turned it back on again?
Yeah.
Please, just remember, you'll have trouble with every app, not just RoofSnap, if you don't turn the thing off every once in a while.
And it's funny. It seems silly to mention that, but it's so true.
Yeah.
There's so many times, and I myself have experienced it when I leave my iPad on for the whole week and I don't ever turn it off, and then I'm like, what's going on? Why can't I open my settings menu on my iPad? Oh,
So true.
I've left it on for a week, so do turn it off and turn it back on, and you'll find that all of your apps will function much better.
We have so many customers who call and they're having a problem, and I'm just baffled. I'm like, I've never heard of that happening to anybody. Do me a favor. Will you power down your iPad and just completely restart it? And then they do. And then I'm like, okay, do it again. Make like whatever you were doing when it misbehaved, do it again. And then they can't get it to happen
You're
again.
like,
It's fixed. Oh, it works great now. It's like I have a brand new iPad. So we're here to help. Do call us if you have any frustrations with how to close in the facets or how to get through a trouble spot. We provide lots and lots of free training.
Absolutely.
Speaking of free training, why don't we show them how to do something cool on iOS that I don't think we've covered recently?
Yeah.
It's not new. It's not brand new, but it's it's something that's really important, and those are templates.
Yes.
So, if you're going to make templates and use templates to add entire systems of roofing to your projects, and we'll show you what that exactly looks like, you're going to need to make sure you have completely set up your materials. So you've got your labor costs in there, you've got your material costs in there, you've got your markups, and you know what you're going to charge for all of your items. Or, at the bare minimum, you've got your per square pricing set up.
Sure.
Because you can go both ways. You can set up simple per square pricing on one hand, or if you're the kind of company that wants to do a cost plus breakdown for every single item that goes into building all the parts and pieces of the roof, you can set it up that way as well. The longer version, takes a few hours to set up, but the per square pricing only takes about 20 minutes to set up.
It's not difficult.
Depending on your comfort level with technology.
So once you have that all built out, just to clarify here, templates are something that you can create to kind of upload into any project on the app side to make the estimating process really simple and
really
streamlined.
fast. So we'll show you what that looks like. So within this roof drawing, and we didn't draw out the whole thing, but we've got pitch on 2 of the slopes. We've got ice and water shield at the eaves, rake metal on the rakes, ridge vent on the ridges.
Oops, I think you accidentally...
Oh, did I unlabel it
You
when
did.
I was... There we go.
There we are.
Put it back. And then as far as pins go, so we put a satellite dish on there, a bunch of hat vents, those items pinned to the roof automatically get added to the estimate items. So when I'm just going to cancel so that nothing changes. And I'm going to go down to the estimate items, and you'll see we've got that leak area pin. Of course, it doesn't carry a price. It's just for inspection.
Sure.
And then we've got the box vents. There was 9. And then we've got the remove and reset satellite dish. There's 1. So, when you go into add material, you're going to pick, remove and dispose. There's the measurement for it. You're going to select one. And then you're going to grab your, if there's a 2-story charge, if there's fasteners, if there's hip and ridge, you're going to go through and pick all these products. But you're picking these products most likely based on a system that you sell over and over again. So why not package all of these items already together in a system that either one carries a warranty or is, just the system that you recommend? Or maybe there's more than one system. Maybe there's a good system and a better system and a best system. A lot of contractors are doing the good, better, best style estimating. We have created that functionality with templates right here within the app. So I'm not going to add any of those items. I will show you, though, that you can select shingles separately from the rest of your material items just by tapping on the product and selecting a color, tapping on the Done button. But let's jump back out. I'm not going to add that product either. Down here in the bottom left is where the templates live, templates that we've already created. So we can open up that folder and we can go in and let's say we want the GAF Timberline HD as one option. We tap on that, go back to Estimate Items, choose the color. Let's go with charcoal. And all of the items that are needed. Now, we didn't have any valley on that roof, so we could delete out the valley. But it's a zero cost. It's not affecting our demonstration. I'm not going to worry about that right now. But you would potentially go in and delete any items that didn't apply to that specific roof, but every other item that you needed would already be in there. And the total price.
It's fantastic.
Jump back into the templates, and you can grab another one. Let's grab the Owens Corning Oak Ridge. Now, right now, the GF Timberline HD is selected. That's why it's highlighted. So let's come down and select the Owens Corning. Oh, you have to pick a color for that one too. Always reminds us to pick a color for each of the options.
It's just great because if you're anything like me, I would absolutely forget to
Right.
choose a color.
Well, and even if you don't know, it's a nice reminder to go in and get those sample boards out of the car, or however you present the color options to the homeowner, and then go over that as a question, as a part of the sales process.
Sure, absolutely.
So we've got two templates in here, and for those of you who haven't created a good, better, best estimate, well, I have to show it to you. I have to go in and make one real quick so you know what it looks like. So this is just 2 options, but we could put up to 5 options on one estimate. My preference is 3. 3 looks really good, but here's one with 2. You've got the Timberline on one hand, you got the Owens Corning Oak Ridge on the other hand.
Wonderful.
Pricing, line by line item breakdown. You see right now this document has quantities on it. Let's see, I'll zoom in. So we're seeing quantities. And we're also seeing line item pricing.
Yep.
Both of those fields can be turned off. If you don't want to show line item pricing or line item quantities, that information can be hidden, and all you'll see are the little contract line items that you have there.
Right.
All right, so we wanted to show them how to make a template.
Yes.
All
Let's
right.
make a template.
Well, to make a template, you start a new project. I like to always put it in the office where I'm going to be using that template. So for us, it's the demo office. And I always give it a name, template. That way I don't confuse it with one of my other projects.
Sure. It's a good idea.
You don't need an address for this. You don't need to worry about any of the other fields. You just go right into estimate items. Start by grabbing the shingle. So let's do a 3-tab template. Let's do the Certainteed XD25. Lots of color options. But color doesn't matter for a template. Whatever color we select now is going to be replaced when we add the template later on.
Gotcha.
So we can go with Coral Frost. It's the
Fancy.
only time we ever get to use Coral Frost. Back when I was selling roofing, I never could sell the Coral Frost. I always recommended it. No, I'm just kidding. So I hit on done, and now we have the first item. Now again, we're building this for a template. So, this is maybe a less expensive option. We're probably going to use 4 nails. Probably going to use tar paper, not synthetic underlayment. Probably use staples, not plastic caps. We're going to create a value option here. So now we go into add material. Well, if we're putting on 3-tab, we're most likely tearing off 3 tabs.
Sure.
And we don't worry about second layer, we don't worry about 2-story, but we're going to do 4 nails per shingle on this. We're going to use the Certainteed XD25 hip and ridge, but see right now we're filtering based on manufacturer. So if I don't want to filter based on manufacturer, I turn that off. Now I can select from any of the other manufacturers.
Nice.
But filtering by manufacturer makes it easy because most people do pair up the manufactured hip and ridge and starter with that shingle.
Sure.
So I'm going to go ahead and grab that hip and ridge. I'm going to grab that CertainTeed Swift Start starter. But for underlayment, I'm going to go with just the baseline 15 weight asphalt felt and staples to secure it. I'm going to use a generic ice and water shield. I'm going to always do the closed valley. Now we're still going to do, let's, again, value option. So let's go with the smaller 1-inch T-style at the eaves and rakes. Step flashing, well, we're still going to need step and counter. So let's put that in there. And apron metal. And ridge vent. For a value proposition like this, it's probably not a roof system that's always going to have ridge vent. It might be something you could upsell. Are we getting? Oh, okay. I thought we got a chat, a live message.
Seeing things.
Say hello. Say hello to everybody out there. Or
I
not.
have.
Okay. Sorry, I got distracted. Now, when we get down here to plumbing boots, so you don't have to worry about adding plumbing boots to your template because they're going to be pinned to the roof. Same thing with off-ridge vents, like hat vents and turbines and stuff like that. And even all the rest of this stuff. All the rest of this stuff will be pinned to the roof, so it doesn't need to go into the template.
Right.
This is accessories, items that are going to be different on every roof.
Sure.
But maybe not. Maybe one can of spray paint and one tube of NP1 for every roof. Maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, makes sense.
And we can go on down. You could even create a template to include some gutters.
Wonderful.
But we won't for this one. All right, that's good. That's all the items I want to add. There is my list of items. And to make this a template, all I have to do is hit the little save button down here and call this 3-tab template. You got to create that template. That's created. That's it. That's how you create a template. You can create a template from any existing estimate that you've ever made.
That's amazing.
If you've got an estimate and you already know that that's the system that you do over and over again, just come down here, hit the little save button.
Name it and you're done.
Name it and you're done. You've got a template and you can reuse that list of items over and over again.
So easy.
Very easy.
It's great.
All right, you know what? I better go back to that project, that one for the live webinar, because we've already got 2 templates in there. I think we should add the one we just made. There it is at the top, 3-tab template.
Perfect.
Let's drop it in there. See, it's a little cheaper. The value option.
Absolutely.
So when we tap on that one, pick a color. Should we stay with Coral
Frost?
Frost?
Dismayed about that.
Should we stay with Coral Frost? No, you have to pick a color because
I think maple red blend is more my style.
More your style.
Yeah, there we go.
Maple red blend. And then again, because maybe the valley option that we had in there doesn't apply to this roof, you could delete. There we go. Delete that one by sliding to the left on it and then tapping delete. I'll go ahead and delete that one.
Perfect. It's great.
Doop-de-doo. All right. Now, we just to recap here, we're leaving the 3-tab template option highlighted. That's the one we've selected. That's the one the customer's going to go with. So when you go to the documents, you can generate a new revision of the estimate to show that third option. And I wanted to do this anyway because you'll see here that 3 options on an estimate is where it really looks nice.
Yeah.
Good, better, best, or better, 3-tab, or whatever you want to call them.
Right. Totally customizable. That's a nice presentation.
Yep. And then the contract, so we're going to go ahead and capture signature on the contract. But since we left the 3-tab option highlighted with your maple red blend, there it is.
Perfect.
And then it can be signed just as we did before. I have a terrible signature.
You really do. Wonderful.
Oh.
Right, so we went over template making for fast, simple, easy estimating.
Yep.
Took a look at kind of that contract customization. Again, feel free to ask for help or dive into that HTML yourself. Just make sure you test it.
Yep. But if you need any help, send us an email or give us a call. I think Katrina told you earlier, it's support@roofsnap.com if you have any questions about setting up your contracts.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you know what? I think we've talked about everything that's new or that we wanted to highlight on iOS on your iPad. So now it's time for, well, the entirety of the end of this webinar is all about the sneak peek.
Yes.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to switch devices here.
And let's see here. And please feel free to chat with me. I feel a little neglected.
Are you feeling lonely?
No one's chatting with me.
Well, entice them with, I don't know. Talk to us. Do you have any questions for us, guys? Anything you'd like for us to go over? Anything you want to know about, upcoming RoofSnap stuff? All right. Well, we are going to jump over now to the sneak peek here on Android. So let's go ahead and make the transition. All right. So for those of you who are existing customers and you've always been using RoofSnap on iOS, the Android version is going to start to look a little different. We're rebuilding it from the ground up, and we're improving it. And in the same way, we're making some decisions for the user interface that are a little different than what's on iOS, but it's all to the benefit of making estimating faster and easier. So right now, let's see. I'm going to open up the existing project that I have here. Same one that we were just in, Project for Live Webinar.
Okay.
All right. Now, on the last live webinar, we did talk about pins.
We did.
Because pins were on the horizon.
Yes.
And pins still aren't released on the live version yet, but they should be out before the end of this week. So
Yay.
Let's take a peek at what pins can do. So for those of you who are already used to using pins, again, of course, you kind of know where we're going. But
it looks so cool in Android.
yeah, it's definitely, Oh, so see, I modified the sketch.
You did.
On the other device. So
it's going to refresh it for you.
Yeah, it's going to refresh it for me. There, see, there's that thing I just drew.
That's wonderful.
Pointless little trapezoid there.
So great.
All right, so there's the roof section, and there are all of the pins. So we can view the pins now on Android, and we can add our own pins. So let's add another inspection pin. We'll go with some hail damage here. We'll drop that pin, press and hold on that pin, and you see we can add a photo or notes. Well, the cool thing is when you go to add photo, then you can select whether you want to import one or take the photo.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and just take a photo here of the conference table. There we go. There's the keyboard here we're using right now. Take a photo, and then we have this little checkbox here on the right, and that's how we add the photo there. And as soon as the photo is uploaded, we're going to have the ability to go in and type out some notes right underneath the photo. It's all integrated in the same screen, so we don't have to be in two separate places. We can quickly add inspection notes. I'm a terrible one-handed typer. There, fix it for me.
There we go. Thank God for spell check.
Thank goodness. I like a keyboard. I don't type very well on the screen here.
So funny.
And then all you have to do is just tap anywhere off the screen and the keyboard goes away.
Wonderful.
You can remove the photo if you needed to, but we'll go ahead and tap on done. And now we've added that pin and that photo. And you can add, this is going to be great for your inspections. So if you're inspecting residential roofing or commercial roofing and you need to add lots of photos and lots of pins to detail all of the different issues or concerns that are on that roof, pinning your inspection photos right to the roof so that they show up on the measurement report is really convenient. Here in pins, though, we also now have all of the products, and these products are, they're obeying the material sequence So whatever order we've put the material sequence into are the same order that these pinned item categories are going to be in.
Wonderful.
So we can go through them and grab our chimney flashing. Again, we're waiting for those images to download. It takes a second there for them to appear. And we can add any of the items from any of these categories. So for those of you who haven't set up your office already, just so that you know, any item that you want to have as a pin can be made as a pin. So if you've got a custom item that you need to label the roof a certain way or a certain kind of accessory, it can be made custom as a pin in a category and be applied to the roof.
Absolutely.
And we can show you how to do that, as you need us to.
I'll be happy to.
So all of the different pins here. So we're going to go ahead and tap on done and save that pin that we've added. And there were already pins in that project as well. And I'm going to go down here to documents. Now we've got a couple documents in here already, and that's the good thing about documents. You can't create all these documents yet on Android, but you can view all of these documents on Android as they're created.
Very true.
But we can go ahead and create a fresh sketch report. I apologize. I'm going to try that again. We are running the beta version, the version that will be finalized before it's released.
Yeah. That's why we have access to the pins and you don't.
Right.
Sorry.
All right, give it another go. No, we have found a bug.
Oh.
All right, well, we won't be able to show you the measurement report at the moment with those added pins, but that's okay.
That's all right.
We
That's
wanna-
why we test this stuff out before we give it to you.
Absolutely. But to show you the things that haven't been released yet, of course, we have to use the the alpha or the beta version.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've shown you the pins with photos and notes. So I do want to go in and show you we can now add installation notes as well to the project. And those installation notes will also appear on the measurement report.
Which is wonderful. We also have, a variety of notes really that show up in different places, but you can
Sure.
see those here in the new Notes tab.
Yep, and again, those of you who have used RoofSnap on iOS for a while, you already know about notes. So you tap on the notes, and installation notes in particular are the ones that are going to appear on the measurement report document. So enter in installation notes here. Man, it's like predictive, telling me what words I need. And then just tap anywhere off the screen to get the keyboard to go away and type on done, tap on done. And the rest of those notes fields, we can enter in notes in all of them. We just can't generate the documents yet on Android for those particular fields. But again, we are hoping to have estimating done in about a month.
Yeah.
So fully feature complete estimating here on Android in about a month.
And for some of our users who perhaps have maybe a Samsung phone but an iPad that they use, if you're on site and maybe you need to jot down a note, you can pull out your phone, jot down that note, and at least have that record.
Well, and that's the goal. We want cross-compatibility between different manufacturers of devices. That way you don't have to go out and buy a new tablet or a new phone. If you have one that's iOS and one that's Android, they'll work together, and you'll be able to use RoofSnap in conjunction on both devices. So the super exciting part that we're finally getting at, and this is going to be the tail end of our live webinar for today, is we don't have much to show you, but estimates, this final tile down here in the bottom right, is coming along.
Yay!
So this project, you saw us, we have those good, better, best estimates already created. Well, better 3-tab.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look at those estimate options that we have. So there they are, the better,
Oh, yay.
the better, and the 3-tab. And the 3-tab, remember, that's the one we left selected.
That's
And that's why we see it selected here with a checkbox.
It's wonderful.
Trying to make it a little more visually clear what's going on. Instead of just highlighting it, we actually have the checkbox. That lets you know that's the one that's selected. You can press and hold and delete one, where we've gotten that far.
We can delete.
You can delete. And you can choose not to delete.
You can't do that. Hey, that's all functionality that needs built. So
Yeah. I mean, everything is being able to do this and that, all the
Yeah.
different functions, all the different calls and commands.
It's all exciting.
And then you can see up here the templates. So we aren't hiding the templates in a folder. We're making them very clear, very prominent with the word templates right up here in the top. And now we can actually view all of the different templates that we have. And we can tap on them and select them.
Yes.
We can't add them yet. But here in a week or so, we'll be able to add the templates
Yes.
to the estimates.
And we are looking forward to showing you that sneak peek
Yep.
very soon.
Now, other thing that you can do at this point in time, well, that we're not releasing until it's completely done.
Yep.
So again, it's just a sneak peek, but you can delete templates from in this screen as well. So the method for deleting things here on Android is always going to be sort of the press and hold, and then you'll have the option up here in the upper right if you want to delete. And if you don't want to delete, you just tap on the little back button here on the left and
harm,
jump
no
away.
foul.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
harm. All right, well, that's where we are at with estimating here on Android. And we're very excited. We'll have this done here very soon and be estimating feature complete with all the documents and everything, hopefully in the next 30 to 60 days.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
Yep. Let's see. Did we forget anything? No?
No.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're watching this after the live event, we hope to post this, and that way you have access to it. And we'll be doing these new feature live webinars on a monthly basis.
Yes.
Isn't that right, Jason?
Well, because we're in such fast development stages right now,
Yeah.
really the hope, the goal is that we'll be doing this live webinar in another month, showing you estimating complete. That's the hope. So please feel free to join us. Join us every month if you have time. These are going to be between 30 and 45 minutes long, and we're just going to run over the things that we think are kind of important topics to touch on, and then show you where we're at on some of the new development. And of course, take any questions that you guys might have. Feel free to email us if you're watching this offline after the live event, and you do want to comment. You can comment in the notes of this video. You can also just send us an email to support@roofsnap.com, and we'll get back to you right away.
Yeah.
Quick response times.
We do our best.
We are on the ball.
Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you live here next time. If you didn't get the opportunity this time, we always love hearing from you, so any feedback that you have is welcome. You can send that to support@roofsnap.com or give us a call at 877-RoofSnap.
Cool. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.